كان معهد الأمين الإسلامي برندوان من أحد المعاهد البارزة والمتقدمة في إندونيسيا.
Yes. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Dear Excellencies, the Director of Al-Amien Prenduan, K. Haji Dr. Ahmad Fauzi Tijani, MA. Dear Excellencies, the Vice of Director Al-Amien Prenduan, K. Haji Dr. Ghazi Mubarak Idris, MA. Dear Excellencies, Presidents of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteer, Sir Abdul Ghafur, and respectable moderator, and all participants in this Aicims. First of all, let's thank to Allah Almighty. For Him we live, for Him we walk, and for Him we worship. By this blessing, we can attend to annual international conference on Islamic and multidisciplinary studies. Peace and salutation we deliver to our Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon him who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. I am, as Master of Ceremony, would like to read the agenda for today. The first program is opening. Let's open our meeting today by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And then a welcoming speech. The first welcoming speech will deliver by Vice of Boarding School, Vice of Al-Amien Prenduan, Mr. K. Haji Dr. Ghazi Mubarak, MA. Time is available.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina wa habibina wa maulana wa qurrati a'yunina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Sa'adata Raisi Ma'hadil Amin Al-Islami Prenduan wa Rais Jami'atil Amin Al-Islamiyah Prenduan, Fadilata Syekh Dr. Abdul Ghafur, as the President of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteers, Fadilata Sadah wa Sayyidat Al-Bahithin wa Jami' Al-Hudur fi hadhihi al-jalsah, a'azzakumullah wa rahimakum rahmatan wasi'ah. Yasurruni bismi usrati Ma'hadil Amin Al-Islami Prenduan wa Jami'atil Amin Al-Islamiyah Prenduan an atawajjaha ilaikum bi atyabit tarhibat li hudurikum fi hadhihi al-jalsah من المؤتمر السنوي الدولي في الدراسات المتعددة التخصصات للعلوم الإسلامية. كما يسعدني أن أخص بالذكر معالي الشيخ الدكتور عبد الغفور كرئيس جبهة المتطوعين الإندونيسيين في مجال التربية، ثم جميع السادة والسيدات الباحثين على مشاركتهم الخاصة في هذه الجلسة. ولا نحتاج إلى مزيد من التأكيد على الأهمية القصوى للمهمة التي نتصدى لها والتي تم اختيارها كعنوان هذه الجلسة، وهي التجديد للبنية الفكرية الإسلامية في مجال الحضارة الإنسانية في العصر الرقمي. السادة والسيدات المحترمون، هذا المؤتمر الدولي الذي نحن فيه ينعقد بجامعة الأمين الإسلامية برندوان لأول مرة في هذه السنة، ونأمله أن يكون سنويا كما هو وارد في عنوان مشروعه. ومما يؤيد أهميته أنه يعقد مناسبة فرح وسرور، وحضوركم ثم إسهاماتكم الفعالة في هذه الجلسة وفي هذا المؤتمر تزيدنا فخرا وشرفا وحبورا، فلكم منا جزيل الشكر والتقدير. وفي الختام أيها الحضور، أفيدكم أننا سوف ننتظر بشغف كبير نتائج وتوصيات هذا المؤتمر وهذه الجلسة خاصة لنسترشد بها في رفع مستوى الدراسات الإسلامية في جامعتنا هذه وفي معهدنا هذا، وفي تحسين جودتها، ولتكون هي مساهمة في مشروع التجديد والتنشيط للحضارة الإسلامية في المستقبل. أيها الحضور، طابت جلستكم، وإلى السداد والرشاد خطاكم، وبالهدى والتوفيق ربنا يتولاكم، وهو حسبنا، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Okay, thanks for him. And the next, for the participants, the first participant is the first presenter is Dr. Muhammad Al-Alakat from Management and Science University, Malaysia. Time for him. Okay. Okay, we wait for the first presenter. Hello, Studio Aicims. Studio Aicims in University in India. Okay, Mr. Enchung has arrived. Welcome, Mr. Enchung. Welcome, Mr. Enchung. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Enchung. Good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were the next moderator for today.
Yes, I am moderator for this conference. And
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 abroad speakers today and then Indonesian speaker.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certain time, I would like to call the first keynote speaker for today.
Okay, time is yours.
Yes. The first speaker is Dr. Ahmad Nurholis Majid. The time and floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator, Dr. Enchung. Ashabihi ajma'in ma ba'du. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin al-Fatihi lima ughliq wal khatimi lima sabaq nasiril haqqi bil haqqi wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdarihi al-azim. Sanchung, masmo kita Soti?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Honorable Head of Al-Amien Boarding School, Dr. K. Haji Ahmad Fauzi Tijani MA, Honorable Head of Share to Care Volunteer, Dr. Abdul Ghafoor, and good afternoon everyone. I'm trying here to present my study, but the concept of persuasive education in the Quran and its relevancy to modern Islamic education as short as possible as time given to me. Let me here to share my presentation.
Okay, Dr. Nurholis.
Can you see my screen? Mr. Enchung, can you see my screen? Okay, I believe you can see my screen. Okay, we are going to structure my presentation. That my presentation based on introduction, method, result, and discussion. Or interaction between the teachers and students. Thus, educational activities can be referred to as social processes that occur through communication to produce knowledge and understanding. In this case, it's necessary to remember Plato's thoughts about education. Plato, he said that the task of education was to help people remember what they knew. Can I continue my... Okay, thank you. This is noise. In this case, it is necessary to remember Plato's thought. Plato said that the task of education was to help people remember what they know but had forgotten. Education, not just entering knowledge. So education is meant to make people aware. Education is not to force people to do something they are not aware of. Are accused that education has, especially lately many students can insult, many students can bully and make fun of their teacher at school. It's all related with communication issues. Later, you know that education is considered to be simply transferring knowledge, not open up student consciousness. So the condition of education, which is getting more acquisition, may have solutive strategy to achieve its mind objective, to achieve its mind goals. Therefore, involving the concept of persuasion into education is necessary. A concept of interaction that emphasizes aspect of influence on attitudes, influence on beliefs, and influence on behavior. My screen cannot move. Okay, wait a moment. I wanna stop share screen. Okay. Shows clearly how educational activities always necessitates positive interaction between students and teachers, which are summarized in persuasive action, especially one on the basis of the Quran. This need is due to the fact that the Quran for Muslim is the source of all knowledge. So for this reason, I think an in-depth study of persuasive concept from the perspective of the Quran is needed. So the purpose of this study is to examine the concept and pattern of persuasive education in the Quran. And to find the answer of research question, the study examine Surah Safar verses 100 to 107 and Surah Luqman verses 12 to 19. And primary data of this study, Tafsir Al-Misbah from Tafsir Al-Misbah that written by Mr. Muhammad Quraish Shihab, and Tafsir Al-Azhar that written by Hamka. The conclusion, this study found that the will explain that conclusion one by one. The first pattern is inspiration. This pattern makes teachers the main inspiration of students' action. Hamka stated in his interpretation in Tafsir Azhar that Ismail wouldn't have been a patient child if his father hadn't been so. It was his father who inspired Ismail. It was Ibrahim who inspired Ismail. Therefore, if Ibrahim did not inspire Ismail, then Ismail wouldn't be a patient child. The story goes that Ibrahim dreamed of being ordered to kill his son. Hearing that, Ismail immediately say, "Do what is ordered to you. Do what Allah ordered to you." Jadi Hamka menyatakan dalam tafsirnya bahwa Ismail itu tidak akan menjadi anak yang sabar, gitu kira-kira, jika ayahnya tidak demikian, tidak sabar. Ayahnya lah yang kemudian memberikan inspirasi kepada Ismail, sehingga Ismail itu mencoba untuk menjadi orang yang sabar. Ceritanya, the story goes that Ibrahim dream of being ordered to kill his son. Jadi kan Ibrahim itu kan bermimpi, diperintah untuk membunuh putranya, menyembelih putranya. Mendengar itu, kemudian Ismail secara langsung menjawab, "Lakukan apa yang Allah perintahkan." Tentu dalam konteks ini Ismail tidak akan mengambil pilihan yang beresiko jika dia tidak lakukan apa yang pernah diperintahkan oleh gurunya. Segala ucapan gurunya adalah perintah untuk dirinya. Thus, the Quran instructs the teacher to be an example that can inspire student. So, Al-Quran memerintahkan seorang guru itu agar bisa menjadi contoh yang dapat menginspirasi. And the second is the rational pattern. Teachers must convey the message and convince students that what they receive is rational. Rationality in this context, according to Quran, is a combination of ratios, emotions, love, including things of mystery nature. You know that dreams are mysteries, but they can be something rational when we know that the prophet, the prophet Ibrahim dream, must be a truth. Jadi rasional itu adalah ketika guru ingin menyampaikan sesuatu, berkomunikasi dengan muridnya, baik dosen ingin berkomunikasi dengan mahasiswanya, harus menyampaikan pesan yang dapat meyakinkan.
Okay, excuse me, Mr. Nurholis. You have 2 or 3 minutes more time rest. So we still have 7 keynote speakers today behind you.
Thank you, Mr. Njong, as moderator. Good as possible to create a feeling of pleasure in student. When he was in dialogue about the dream, Ibrahim used the word "ya bunayya." It means that the language used is very subtle and pleasant for Ismail. In Arabic, the word "ya bunayya," inni ra'aituka fil manami adbahuk unzur madza tara. Ya bunay is different from the words ya ibni, ya ibni. Ya icing, teknik icing dan teknik English shifting. Artinya kalau mau disempurnakan dalam bahasa Indonesia, penataan pesan yang menyenangkan. Jadi kalau ada guru, ada dosen, kemudian memanggil mahasiswanya, memanggil muridnya dengan sebutan anak misalnya, ya bunaya gitu kan, itu berarti dia sedang membuat tataan pesan yang menyenangkan. Karena ya bunaya di dalam Al-Quran itu memiliki makna wahai anakku yang kucinta sayangi. Sementara ya ibni, wahai anakku saja. Nah, and then the fourth is the pattern of consultation. On many occasions, teachers involve student in determining. Jadi konsultasi itu consultation adalah pelibatan siswa dalam menentukan kondisi, langkah, dan tujuan pendidikan. The fifth is the exchange or reciprocal pattern. This pattern is not transactional, but rather a mutual understanding created by the two, so that the understanding can produce action that benefit both. Pola resiprokal itu artinya bukan siapa untung dan siapa rugi, atau siapa mendapatkan apa dan siapa mendapatkan apa seperti transaksional, seperti transaksi gitu ya, tapi adalah satu pemahaman tentang sesuatu sehingga keduanya sama-sama untung. It's not that the teacher get money and student get knowledge. Ya, jadi saya membayar guru dan saya mendapatkan pengetahuan. It's not like that. The sixth Mr. Encho, this is the last my slide. Okay. This the association pattern. This pattern is used by educator to superimpose message on event that are considered memorable for student. One day, Luqman's son asked if God knew the hidden. Then Luqman threw a stone and he said, God knew where the stone was. Jadi suatu ketika anaknya Luqman bertanya, association pattern ini adalah mengkaitkan satu pengetahuan, pelajaran misalnya, dikaitkan dengan satu peristiwa tertentu. For example, plot lesson of short story are associated with certain terms such as beautiful back and forth, popularized by Syahrini. I'm not sure this is the right translation. Beautiful because Syahrini mempopulerkan apa namanya itu, maju mundur cantik ya. Jadi kan di dalam pelajaran cerpen itu ada namanya alur, ada plot. Jadi ada plot maju, mundur, campuran. Nah, ini bisa dihubungkan.
Mr. Nurholis, unfortunately.
Yes.
Okay.
I will present my conclusion first,
yes.
Mr. Let me to present my conclusion, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
But you have spent 20 minutes for
okay. I'm sorry, Mr.
the session presentation today. And knowing all, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants, that we have 8 speakers, but we reschedule 1 speaker for a person, one person more, one speaker more. It means that the day we have 9 speakers. So I'm so sorry, Mr. Nurholis, because you have spent 20 minutes more than it.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry because I need to move on to the second speaker today. And
never mind, Mr.
I will please you now to give your closing statement.
Good mutual and good understanding. Thank you, Mr. Encho.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Nurholis Majid, for your first presentation today. And actually, if there are plenty of time and we have wider time Actually, we will give you large time to present and giving answer question for today. But we are so sorry, the time is very limited. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call second keynote speaker. I would like to call Dr. Andi Asrifan, MPD.
Yes, Assalamualaikum.
Sir? Waalaikumsalam. My voice audible, sir?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay,
perfect.
Good. We will give you 15-minute presentation and then 5 minutes more for answer question.
Direkayasa kasus yang di rumahnya di Duren 3 sama kasus yang kilometer 50 kan tembak-tembakan kan begitu skenario-nya, padahal Habib Rizik itu sampai bersumpah loh. Anak buah saya cuma ajudan keluarga biasa.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Andi Asrifan, you are from Muhammadiyah Sindereng, Rapang, Indonesia, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Please, you sir. Yes. I please give you 15-minute presentation. The time is yours and the floor is yours too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Salatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. Raditu lillahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi Muhammadin nabiyya wa rasulah. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for this wonderful invitation. Thank you to the faculty and staff and students from Institute Dirosat Al-Islamien Al-Amien Prenduan, IDIA, who initiate to have the very development and material design digital technology approach. What we will have today, I divided into 6 components that hopefully in this very short time here is around 15 minutes max. I can share about these. The first one is everything you need to know about the 60 second in the internet world, and then is it you know that we are in the technological world. Everything we have to include and have to connect with the internet. So can technology replace the teacher? Let me start with a short video. What happened in this world right now? We will have a robot. There are 79% of electronics traders believe that the internet will become basic price by 2000. Everywhere we need phones, internet to make our life easy. It's almost the same. The problem right now is EDM. Where in the future, transportation, I think we will need. And the last is artificial intelligence. There are a lot of happens every minute in online. So the people think there are a million people are checking email, sending a text message, buying something for their home, watching TikTok video, and still much more. I think like today we are in the life of conference via Zoom, and then in the last year in 2021, the time we have spent online has only increased. Let me start in 2018. So the internet activity, the show increased by year to year. So that's online. In fact, online content consumption has increased. It's around 30% by year to year in this last year, where in Facebook there was 1.3 million login in a minute. In YouTube there are 4.7 million videos view just in a minute. That's unbelievable, I think. So some question arise when I talk in some academic event organized by some organization around the world. So it can help us in the process of the learning, but it certainly cannot replace the role of the teacher. So even in online courses, we see the teacher are necessary to give lecture, whether in the form of video, tutorial, and also the same that we are doing right now. I'm sharing the knowledge in live through the Zoom. So the children here still need to learn the computer, which of course are taught by the teacher. So students need the teacher to direct them to in learning hand-on skill in the science, technology, engineering, art, mechanic. Moreover, in order to learn, served by the teacher. So it is also important that we remember the teacher is more than just the facilitator of knowledge. And then a teacher also act as a guide, as a mentor, and also as inspiration for our students. And the role of those that I mentioned just now that cannot be replaced by the technology of any kind. So the teacher can take help with different software to fulfill the needs of diverse learner as per learning style. And today's world, no one should neglect the fact of diverse needs of learner. And then we should try to provide a hands-on experience to them, and then expect an education system that not only promote by learning, but also open the door to create freedom and expression. So I quote Dr. Ray Clifford that technology won't replace the teacher, but the teacher who don't use the technology will soon be replaced. So how can we make the classroom as dynamic as the world around us? So there are some technique and also approach that can answer this one. One of them is SAMR, stand for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. So in substitution, that's about direct tool substitute and then no functional change. And argumentation, that's about direct tool substitute with a functional environment, where when we combine this one, so we will have to apply, understand, and remember as our a target of serving our teaching and learning process. So in M and R, that's teachers still create. So the model technology integrate the lesson at this level, but the student become active creator, applying their class through the use of technology. So SA is we create as a teacher, but the model of technology integrated lesson for the student. Let me see, where are we now? What and education 2.0, the learn as a receptor of knowledge, and education 3.0, where the teacher as the facilitator. So here there are here the some guideline for designing effective teaching material. There are 6 components that should be considered as a curriculum developer in the system of university. The first one is the learner. Learner here is, we have to consider about the need analysis. We have to know the knowledge about the learner, experiences, first language, level of literacy, aspiration, interest, and purpose. And the next one is the curriculum in the context, the value to be taught, goal, and the objective. And the next is the resources and the facility. The teacher must be realistic. Access to resource will impact the decision in material design. Personal confidence and competence, copyright compliance, and the last is how much time should be used to share the material, to working in team, and organizing the material. This is the 6 that should be considered by the developer of curriculum, and also the teacher and the lecturer. So why multiple intelligence theory as of factor that should be considered in designing the effective teaching material? Here in the learner, knowledge about the learner. So here we focus on the multiple intelligence theory. So here multiple intelligence theory is introduced by the Howard Gardner in around 1975. Yes, exactly. And then where we have 8 multiple intelligence, where they are developed to in different degree, their potential capability to everyone. And then our task here as a teacher or educator, so how I think all of you has now about the word smart, number smart, picture smart, body smart, music smart, people smart, self smart, and nature smart. So and then about the digital approach to support our multiple intelligence. I think there are 1,000 platforms that can support our teaching and learning process in the classroom, but we can't use all of them. But we can classify them into some component. The first one, we can classify them what kind of platform that can help us in video conferencing and communication tool like Zoom, Skype, Class Dojo, and Jamboard, and then also what kind that can help us to organize the homework and management or online LMS, or in processing, monitoring, and data management, and content specific tool. Or we can classify into what kind of platform that can help us in discovery, in didactic, or in doing, or in discourse, I think.
Okay.
And
excuse
yeah.
me, please.
Oh yes, thank you. Thank you for
you have spent,
gentle reminder.
Yes,
thank you.
You have spent
yes.
13 minutes.
You in a minute, I think we always use, for example, Facebook. I think Facebook. So that unconsciously it can train our intrapersonal, interpersonal. In visual, we have Google Earth, Pinterest. In musical, we have Animoto. Linguistic, we have Screenshot. In logical, mathematical, we have Diego, and still many applications. I think not only in Apple product, but also in some Android or smartphone. The last here, the way of teaching in linguistic, I think in teaching activity, we can apply lecturer discussion, word games, storytelling. In logical, mathematical, we can apply problem solving, science experiments. In spatial, we have visual presentation like this. Bodily, we have hand-on learning, drama, dance, sport that teach. Interpersonal, we can apply cooperative learning. In intrapersonal, we have individualist instruction. We have like ecological awareness, care of animal, or natural study. I think that's enough for me today. Later I can share this presentation to make sure to enrich our knowledge for our teaching and learning in the classroom. Thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you.
We still have 5 minutes to have question answer from the second keynote speaker today, and I allow you to ask question to the second quizzer, to the second speaker for today. Please, any one of you? Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I can share my presentation kindly wide. I
think
convert
everybody who are in the meeting room today understand and get a very clear point. I think there's no one asks you.
Thank you.
Yes, for the last time, sir, I will give you short time to have your closing statement, please.
Okay, thank you so much. As an educator, I think I use in bahasa Indonesia because most of us is baca buku pasti pintar. Tapi untuk beruntung, yang kita sentuh adalah akhlak karakternya yang kita bentuk. Karena banyak orang pintar tidak bisa sukses, tapi banyak yang kadang kita sepilihkan kepintarannya, dia bisa menjadi sukses. Demikian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We see. Thank you so much, Dr. Andi.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your very clear presentation today, and we would like to move on to the second to the third presentation today. And
thank you.
Yes, you are welcome, sir.
Yes.
For the next presentations, I would like to call Dr. Agis Andriani, SPD M.Hum. Are you with us?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. We are sorry. We are sorry. I call you sir. You are madam, right?
Yes, that's right. Good afternoon, everybody there, or good evening, probably outside of Indonesia and overseas.
Okay. Before you start presentation today, I would like to ask you, how can I call you, Agis or Andriani?
You can call me Agis, sir.
Okay, good. And certain time,
Mr. Enchung, and then also I say thanks to all the committees of AICIMS to invite me in this very meaningful occasion for me to present my presentation topic. Let me share my slides to this presentation. Is it clear enough, sir? And to
yes.
all?
Yes.
Invited here.
We can
All
hear
right,
you.
thank you. My topic for today is about teaching English as a foreign language, and it is the case of Islamic integrated school in Indonesia. And this is our country, my country, Indonesia. So many islands and then so many ethnics inside here. And then talking about teaching English as a foreign language in Indonesia, it will be related to, in my presentation, I mean, it will be related to implication of non-native language, English language teacher, and her or his identity and effectiveness of instruction in teaching English based on the case in integrated Islamic school setting. And then, of course, because of my study is about linguistics, so I will try to relate it to my study, and then based on what I have read to support my finding in this study. All right, talking about Islamic education in Indonesia, it is relatively decentralized and discursively diverse because Indonesia, as we know, is some richly complex country with no one but a multiplicity of popular cultures, political, ethnic, and social imaginary. This is a land of cultural contrast, contest, and contradiction. The same trait will likely characterize Indonesia's culture and political development in years to come, as in this nation rises to even greater global prominence as defines and the terms of its national and civic identity. In addition, multicultural education in Indonesia is not a new concept, but has been running since the national education system. Both Islamic education and multicultural education are ways to prepare to be a good Muslim and good citizens. All right, talking about the use of language, and in this case is English. The language or English is used, including in the field of politics, economics, and social culture, has recently been manifested in gaining a special position in many countries where language is not spoken. In Indonesia, foreign languages are officially designed as a part of national education curriculum. And then English language teaching in Indonesia faces various obstacles, including but not limited to anxiety about the truth and the purity of Indonesian language, the national language, and concern about liberal Western values embedded in English to undermine the morals and attitude to young people. Interestingly, Islamic education, which plays an important role in Indonesian society, has included English along with other secular science and technology as a part of its curriculum in its current progress. All right, talking about English, has been described as the first foreign language in Indonesia and is officially taught to the students in the secondary school. And then about this condition, the history of teaching English in Indonesia can actually be traced back to the early 90s when modern schools were first introduced. And then, of course, talking about teaching English in Indonesia, the aim of teaching it, especially in secondary school, is to equip students with language by foreign lecturers and then introduce Indonesian culture to international community and communicate orally with lecturer. And then talking about teaching English, of course, it will be related to the teacher. And in this position, English teacher is in Indonesia as non-native language English or non-native English teacher. To this case, being a teacher who is not feared by the student is a figure that is expected to be imaged by non-native language teacher. On the other hand, pragmatic competence is one aspect of language that poses many challenges for learners of English as a foreign language. And it is said by Taguchi that second language learner need to form and linguistic skills to perform every day in the target language. At the same time, because the way of speaking is determined by the context, the learner need to is not afraid is indicated as identity of the teacher when interacting with his students, his or her students. Meanwhile, the concept of requesting, in this case, it is related to the way of the teacher to give the instruction to the students, is associated, of course, with the instruction. And then in line with this point, giving instruction from the teacher in an educational setting, specifically in Islamic integrated school, can be understood as a commonplace realization and then useful for the learners to play or to involve in a teaching learning process conducted by the non-native language teacher. Talking about the learners, in this case, the use of a conventional indirect requesting, or generally, or if we are talking about the choice of requesting strategy, is the teacher's effort to have a good communication with her students. And the realization of instruction, or specifically requesting in the classroom, the teacher use it as the control of the discourse, and it can be realized into repeated requesting in the form of interrogative, for example, that there is the challenge of the interrogative. What means by interrogative here is a challenge for the teacher that's relevant to the competence of the teacher itself. That will result the act of the teacher as the cultural mediator. The role of the teacher, the non-native teacher as the cultural mediator, means that the teacher can speak two languages and the two cultures to convince their students.
Okay.
This identity of the non-native language teacher will be built from this context, so it will image the ideal teacher.
Me, please.
And then related to the dual condition of the non-native language teacher, there will be the two conditions. The first is cultural dualism. There is a first language condition and the second language condition. And then the other side is about the school environment also, where there is a school culture itself. And then, of course, in this case, is Islamic integrated school culture. School culture is related to the learning process in the classroom, and the boarding culture around of integrated school culture related to the learning process outside the classroom. And then, of course, these two settings can give the the effect of the situation for the teacher to teach English in the classroom. For example, in the context of giving instruction, the teacher use many word values when she teaches the students in classroom. All right, the next. However, teaching English in Islamic boarding school is often not fun. As a result, their mastery of English is not good. The vocabulary of the students tends to be very limited. For example, in the discussion and then in the presentation of the students itself, and then the impact occur from the implementation of this strategy. I mean that there is a strategy to overcome that kind of condition, that the student verbally, after the strategy implemented, in this case, the strategy, namely non-conventional indirect request that considered by the teacher as a strong cue to motivate the student to answer the question when the teacher asks, and then follow the model of learning English. I mean, when the teacher perform English, identity of non-native English teacher is related to the vision of the school, which is the setting in the study is about Islamic integrated school. The vision of the school is to become an institution that excels, and it's a forefront of achievement based on faith and piety. This vision reflects the embodiment of requesting the teacher, namely that the repeated requesting of the teacher is a way for the teacher to motivate the students in learning, to continue, to focus, and to be responsible for ongoing teaching. Even though in the student data, for example, they only stay silent when asked, but the teacher will continue to repeat the question or the request for information through a series of questions. This series of questions is used by the teacher with two types of strategies, namely conventional indirect requesting and unconventional indirect requesting strategy. Although these two strategies run the risk of being ignored by the students, recognize their potential so they can be developed optimally in academic and non-academic fields, and improve discipline for all component schools, maintain and improve school facilities and infrastructure in an effort to improve service and quality of education, carry out maximum skill training.
Excuse me,
and
Madam Agis.
So that they have achievement in academic and non-academic field. All right, the teacher is positioned as advanced level learners who can motivate students to master English, especially for their communication skill. The teacher will provide information when the students experience error in material being taught, and then the provision of this information, if it is associated with requesting, is an accompanying speech and type of request relief. With this type of requesting, the teacher can reflect himself as the source of information needed by the students to maintain the continuity of the learning process and achievement of learning objectives that have been set in the syllabus and teaching planning. As the conclusion,
recording in progress.
If the goal is achieved, the student that have been set in the student can achieve the expected achievement, although the challenges in the learning English in integrated school comes from exposure to other foreign languages, namely Arabic, in addition to other languages that they have mastered, namely Indonesian and their respective regional language. So to deal with this, the teacher uses requesting with the
15 minutes. Twice I alarm you that the time should be over. Okay, but it doesn't matter.
Please, thank you. All right.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. We still have a lot of time, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the session for question answer, and I give the time for you all participants and anyone who want to ask the question to our presenter, Dr. Agis Andriani. Please, the time for participant. Okay, sometime Professor Dr. Suraya, how are you? How are you today?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Waalaikumsalam. Usually, you are an active speaker, right? In every session of ours.
Okay, inshallah.
Yeah, I appreciate you a lot. Thank you, madam.
Marhaba, thank you. Shukran.
Any question or some suggestion from you?
So the whole session is going very well, and the speakers are deliver their message absolutely strongly, very.
The last thing to say your closing statement.
Yes, ma'am is very well explained and everything is clear. I appreciate ma'am and I best wishes to you for the future. Inshallah, you will all going very top of the hill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, madam. For Dr. Agis?
Yes,
Dr. Agis?
sir?
Yes. I think there's no question from the audience today, and I am sure that your presentation is clear enough. Till there's no one
Thank
ask
you.
The participant also, I understand. Again, thank you very much, and please give your closing statement.
All right. Talking about Islamic education, I think in my case is related to teaching English. Let's implement requesting, or let us transfer content of teaching material related to the English language, and then do not forget, we are as the teacher implicitly deliver the Islamic values in our teaching. That's all.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Agis Andriani, and I appreciate you.
Islamic education is of course necessary with academic education. In madrasa, we can also in India, in madrasa, yatim khana also they are providing academic education as well as Islamic education for the welfare of their yatim students.
Okay, we see. Madam Professor Dr. Suraya. Yes.
It will be beneficial for that orphans. They will get both academic and Islamic education as well as they learn the culture and different languages in the English, Urdu, Arabic, and so many languages. They can continue or they can progress in their life.
Okay, I think it is very highlighted idea from you, madam, and
Shukran.
Afwan. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will invite the next speaker. I call Dr. Muhammad Al-Halakot from Malaysia. Are you with us, sir?
Oh, yes. Hi, brother. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, please allow me to share my PDF file.
Okay. Okay. I can call you Muhammad, right?
Yep, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. You know, Dr. Muhammad. We are here now being with a lot of female students around us, and they say hello to you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure. I have great pleasure.
Yes. Okay, Dr. Muhammad. And what time is it now in Malaysia, sir?
Oh, now it's 3:30.
Pardon me?
3:30.
Oh, 3:30. Yes, we have only little bit differences, right? The time, yeah. Okay, Dr. Mohammed, and as I say before that this presentation, we will give you 2 sessions. The first session is your presentation itself. This is about 15 minutes, and then the second one is answer question sessions. It is about 5 minutes. And we would like to step to the first session, your 15-minute presentation, please.
I am working as assistant professor of translation interpretation at Management and Science University Malaysia, and I am leading the translation program in the same university. So for today's session, we are going to approach a new topic and a very interesting topic, which is about the role of linguistic studies in the pandemic era. So after we all have witnessed the COVID-19 and the pandemic, and we have witnessed also how the whole world have shifted from the normal to the new norm, which we call the new norm. So the COVID-19, of course, have immensely changed all our views from the normal way or the traditional way of living to a new style or a new norm, what we call it. So the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted on every area of our lives, and also, of course, has turned our lives upside down, because there are so many changes happening during the COVID-19, leaving an impact for which no one was prepared. Shared the crisis, and its consequences are likely to be far-reaching, requiring resourcefulness, courage, and strength to overcome these kind of new shifting. 2 aspects in particular that has recently attracted attention in the media is the psychological and the learning impact of the pandemic. So we have 2 main factors that come up with the pandemic: the psychological factors and the learning impact of the pandemic and its potential reflection on our future generation, and how these factors are going to change or to impact our what we call mental health. So there are so many people have resigned or have lost their jobs. There are so many companies have closed down their offices. There are so many universities, what we call go under upsiding, so start closing their branches. There are so many shopping malls also start closing, start shutting down. So the whole world is going to change. So now we are also still just, let's go back before 3 or 4 years. In 2017, 2018, would you be able to imagine, like, after just 1 or 2 years, everything in the world is going to change, everything is going to be online? We have never even practiced or experienced an online meeting. We have never practiced or experienced a kind of parliament or governmental online meeting. Everything became online. Teaching became online. Everything became online. So we were never prepared for such thing. Because of that, all the sectors, whether in the academia, whether in the industry, start facing a lot of challenges. because no one was actually prepared for such shift, which was a very drastic and very dramatic shift. So indeed, a number of risk factors for mental ill health are said to have escalated during the pandemic. Mental issues due to staying at home for 1 year, or even sometimes for more than 1 year, just to stay at home, working from home, doing everything from home, which we never experienced such thing. We always used to go to our offices from 9 to 6 or from 5 to 8, from 8 to 5. So this is kind of our life routine. So what happened during the pandemic, where you need to stay 1 full year or even more than 1 year at home, doing all your work from home, staying with your family member. Some people, they are having only 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom. Imagine they stay the whole, like 1 or 2 years in the affected our situation. So let's go now back to the educational sector or to the academia. In the normal or the traditional way of teaching, these normally should be our core subjects in any school. So we have the English, we have the English courses, we have English subjects, we have the languages, we have the arts, we have the math, economics, society, geography. All these were our normal subjects, which we normally use to study, or our kids normally use to get learned at the school. So what happened after the pandemic or after coronavirus? Everything has changed. Even the curriculum itself started changing. Many universities started, but also promote understanding of academic content at much higher levels by weaving 21st century interdisciplinary themes into our core subjects. For example, many of the traditional subjects start getting no interest from the student. The student, they don't want to study geography. They don't want to study history. They want to study this kind of subject which will never impact their future. So the new trend for the new generation after COVID-19, they start looking for IT subject, cybercrime subject, forensic science subject, computer forensic subject, medicine. All these subjects was hit by a huge number of students. All students were trending to register and to study this subject, whether in the school, and if the school is not able to provide this subject, the student start moving from the school to another school, because that school providing the subject I want, providing IT subject, providing cybercrime subject. Why the students start moving and looking for this subject? Because during the pandemic, the 2 or 3 years of pandemic, the whole world witnessed the need of this subject. There is an essential need to start looking for IT subject, for a translation subject, because you can do online translation, you can work from online as a translator or interpreter or language consultant. So many other skills were very important, and there is a high demand for these skills during the COVID. So during COVID time, most of the schools were not looking for a traditional teacher who's just going to teach on the whiteboard or the blackboard. No. The schools and the universities as well were looking for a teacher who's mastering IT skills, who's mastering digital literacy skills, who knows how to open the website, how to record a video, how to edit the video, how to edit the voice, how to change the background of the video, how to manage an online content, not a physical content on the blackboard or on the whiteboard. We need something to be digitalized. So everything to start getting, trust me, no one would recruit you. In order to be a good teacher, you must back your back with some soft skills, at least to have a good digital skills. graphic design, video design, video content, content writing, not only to be a normal teacher, which just teach on the whiteboard or the blackboard and go home and do some assignment. No, no more universities, no more academia looking for such teachers. So we have to back ourselves with so many of soft skills, or what we call digital skills. So you have to be digitalized in order to get work, or even sometimes if you are looking for an extra income. I have witnessed and I have seen some teachers who are working with more than 3 or 4 schools. The same lecturer, the same teacher, he's working in an IT experienced man. His main theme or mainstream of his study was in education, but he managed to galvanize his teaching experience with digitalized skill, with digital skills. So he knows how to do online editing, online proofreading, online video recording, how to manage the video, how to upload the video on the website, how to edit the video, how to attract the student, and to use some graphics, some scientific graphics or some arts graphics in the video in order to attract the student, not just to sit in the camera, inside of the camera, or not to sit in the front of the camera and just recording, which is a kind of boring way of teaching. No, you have to use some graphics. You have to use some gestures during the video in order to attract the student to your content, which is very important, because nowadays there is a huge competition between lecturers and teachers who's using or who's doing online content. So if you are just moving your physical content from the classroom to the online, it's still boring. So you have to think out of the box, which we normally say you need to be beyond expectation thinker. You need to think beyond expectation. What the student need? What shall I make to convince the student to attend my course? Or even sometimes to purchase my course. I can record the course, send it to the school, and at the same time, I can upload my course on any kind of a platform that can generate some income for me. I can get money from this course. I can sell it online. So there are many factors and many ideas start getting in our minds, which how to improve ourselves after the COVID-19, which before the COVID-19, actually, we never thought of that. We never thought everything is going to be online just in 1 or 2 years. So this is the elements of a 21st century learning. This is the main elements nowadays. So nowadays, some schools and university here in Malaysia and in other countries start improving the content of the university or the content of the schools. We need to educate our kids about global awareness. What is going to happen in the future? What is happening now? We have to learn from what just happened to us. So in the future, at least we have to be prepared. So global awareness courses, financial, economic, or business or entrepreneurship literacy. We have to educate our school students in order to be able to be entrepreneurship student, meaning that the student will be able, after they finish from the school, will be able to start their own business. Not to be a teacher who's after finishing 4 or 5 years in the school, who still need to jump to a master degree, and at the end, he will be waiting someone to recruit him. No. You as a student, during this school time, you will be learned and you will be educated how to prepare your own business. Whenever you finish from school, you need to launch or set up your own startup company. No need to wait for the behave as a good human being. Health literacy. During the pandemic, we witnessed and we found There are so many issues regarding to the health. Many people, they do not know if they are sick or not. Even sometimes they got COVID-19, they have the disease, but they don't know the symptoms because they never experience such symptoms. So they have to be health literacy kind of subjects. Environmental literacy, which is very important also to educate our students about the environment, about the air pollution, about the climate or the global warming issues. Also, we have to educate them about the sound pollution, visual pollution, so many things we have witnessed. So we have to employ such kind of subject in our system, in our educational system. So the global awareness, as we mentioned, so bringing the outside world into the classroom, using 21st century skills to understand and address global issues, bearing from and working collaboratively with individuals representing diverse culture, religious and lifestyle in a spirit of a mutual respect and open dialogues in personal, work and community context. Also, we have to teach our students in order to be having the ability to utilize non-English languages as a tool for understanding other languages and other nations as well. So financial, economic and business literacy, you have to give something to get something. Knowing how to make appropriate personal economic choices, understanding the role of the economy and the role of business in the country. Using entrepreneurship skills to enhance workplace productivity and career options. So about the civic literacy, so we are local, state, national and international or global levels. Understanding the local and global implications of the civic decision. So we have to educate our students about all these subjects, which is very necessary and very essential for them. Health literacy, the decision we make on how we take care of ourselves. This kind of decision, of course, it's going to impact every aspect of our life. Having the ability to access health information, services, education.
Excuse me, Dr. Muhammad. We only have two speakers with you, and I think I will give you more time than the other.
Yeah, to be fair with others, I think I'm going to finish my session in 2 minutes time.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is about the health literacy. So environmental literacy, as we mentioned, we need to educate our students about the global warming and many other issues like the sound pollution, the air pollution, and many things that have effect here. We have to also educate the student about the life and career skills, how to be able to get a career after graduating, core subject and 21st century theme, learning and innovation skills, information media technology skills, which is very important. So there are many important skills we need to include in our future generation curriculum. Life and career skills, learning skills, innovation skills, information media skills, these are the most important skills. And also we have to focus on leadership, ethics, flexibility, personal productivity, people skills, which is very essential. So let's just move on. Here, at the end of the session, I have just shared, I want to share this one with you, the ASEAN Federation of Translator and Interpreter, which has just started in 2021, last year, and you will be able to go to the website, or you can just type the ASEAN Federation of Translator and Interpreter on the website, on the Google, and it will comes back to you. Or let me share, I'll try to share what we call the website on the chat, so you can maybe fill the form of membership as they just send it to me, and you can apply for membership if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all for today.
Yes, before we step to... Is my voice audible, everyone? Hello?
So, any questions so far?
Is my voice audible? Hello?
Could you repeat it? Could you repeat again?
Is my voice audible?
Yes, clear. Yeah, clear. Audible. Yeah, clear.
So far, before we are going to our discussion today, my big curiosity for
May
your
I
presentation.
suggest you?
Yes, Professor Dr. Suraya, have you any question or some suggestion or some edit point from the presentation today, please, Professor Dr. Suraya?
No, I agree, low network. Even when we send any message via WhatsApp or any other social media or via mail, they will send their reply after 1 week because they low network and they haven't sufficient money to purchase equipment. And our home servants, their kids also using same digital equipment, but their parents have no sufficient money, and they have 4 or 5 kids in the same family, and they use their father's mobile and their laptop or desktop when they came home at late night. Their labors, they came home at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. after, then their kids use their equipments, and the father have also used their officially work. It is a very painful task, but we have to adjust in this pandemic. We have to run with this technology, non-teaching staff. In this pandemic, we have to change ourselves. We have to change ourselves and go with technologies. Technologies must. I am very agreed with you, sir. You explained very well. Thank you.
Okay, very good sharing from our Professor Dr. Suraya. Please, Dr. Muhammad, could you respond it?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. It's really appreciating. Yeah, and I have heard also a lot of news, a lot of information regarding the situation in India. It was really one of the worst during the pandemic. Especially in India, especially also in Pakistan, Bangladesh, they were having really a very difficult situation. Also here in Malaysia, we were having a lot of difficult situation during the pandemic, as during the pandemic, as most of the students were unable to come to the school, and even they cannot do the online courses because the lecturer or the teacher were not prepared, and the students were not prepared. Also, they don't have the laptops, they don't have the phones, the good mobile that can record. So we were facing a lot of challenges actually in the first few months, until the government here in Malaysia, maybe after 5 or 6 months, they came with an initiative in order to support around 5,000 students with a new iPad. A new iPad, so that means the student will be able to get the iPad for free from the government in order to be able to go to the school and to open the iPad from home and to get the classes.
Yes, many students have lost their parents, more brother, sister. No one is earning in their family. I salute the government. They provide scholarship for those their parents, both mother, father, and there is no earning person in their family. In our government, they are providing scholarship extra for them. And using this blended mode, the faculties became tired. 7 hours we have to work in our duty, and 24/7 we have to work online at our house. This blending techniques we became very tired.
2 speakers, and I think I need the closing statement from Dr. Muhammad, and I say so sorry for our Professor Dr. Suraya. Actually, I want to know a lot about the COVID-19 pandemic impact to the education sector, but the time is not available for me today. Please, Dr. Muhammad, give your statement, closing statement.
Yes. As a closing statement, just want to raise the issue that COVID-19 has badly affected all the educational sector and all other industries as well. So it is very important we have to be prepared for the next coming future. So if we were not prepared, of course, in the next few years, we will be hit by another more serious COVID-19, or which we do not know what to call it. Maybe it could be another disease or another global crisis. So we have to prepare. The most important thing, which is very important for anyone, not only the teachers, but for anyone. So it is very, very important nowadays. So nowadays, or just to make the long story short, before a few years, we usually call the people who are not able to read or write, we call them illiterate, or we call them jahil. But nowadays, we call the people jahil who do not have IT skills. Some people, they can write, they can read, but they still be called jahil because they don't have IT skills. They cannot survive. Nowadays, with reading and writing, you won't be able to survive. You must have IT skills. You must have digital literacy skills in order to be educated. So this is my last word, I think, or my last statement would be, because it's really very important and very significant for our new generation and new students. They have to learn these digital skills. They have to be digital literate, not only knowing how to read and write, but they have to be able to use the computer, use the smartphones, use and understand some digital skills, which is very important in every school, in every...
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much for Dr. Muhammad from Malaysia. I think your presentation is clearing up, and because the time is up, and we would like thank you, Sir Dr. Muhammad, and I think this is nice presentations.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, brother. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants, we would like to move on to the next keynote speaker. I call Farhana Haq, PhD from Brunei Darussalam. Hello, are you here with us, Farhana Haq?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Farhana Haq, PhD.
Is it okay? Can you hear?
Yes. Is it your voice, Doctor?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Farhana Haq.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker of this international conference, Farhana Haq, PhD. She is from Brunei Darussalam, and she is from University of Brunei Darussalam. And wait for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, because Farhana PhD is still in technical problem. Okay, I give the time to Madam Farhana to set his network or some other else with the technical problem, and we would like to call the next speaker, Mr. Ramadan LCMA. He is from Yayan Loksumawi, Banda Aceh, Indonesia. The time and floor is yours. Hello, Mr. Ramadan, can you hear me? Okay, excuse me, your voice is not audible for me. Okay, Dr. Ramadan, I think you have mute microphone in your Zoom application. You can change to unmute.
I'm sorry.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Just allow me to share my slide screen.
Okay.
أتكلم باللغة العربية ممكن يا أستاذنا؟
طيب تفضل.
أيها الطالب والمتكلمون والمستمعون الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah.
Tayyib Ustadz Ramadan,
nama santo. في مشكلة؟
نعم. لكم فرصة 20 دقيقة في إلقاء المقالة. تفضل يا أستاذ.
الحمد لله نحمد ونشكر ونستعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على الأمور والدين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله لا نبي بعده. المكرم إلى كي حاجي أحمد فوزي، المكرم إلى كي حاجي مقتدي، المكرم إلى رئيسنا عبد الغفور، والمكرم إلى رئيس الجلسة أستاذ نجوم، المكرم إلى المتكلمين والمتكلمات من أي ناحية من البلد والمستمعين الكرام. اسمحوا لي اليوم أن أقدم البحث بعنوان تحويل الفقه في تنمية المفاهيم الاقتصاد الإسلامي. لقد أخذت هذا العنوان لأنني أعتقد أنه يجب.
لا نسمع صوتك جيدا. هل يمكنك أن ترفع صوتك؟ عفوا.
وما ذلك فقط وضع.
جيد شكرا.
وما ذلك فقد وضع علماؤنا أساسا قويا للغاية بحيث يمكن استخدام قواعد القانون والمبادئ القانونية والفلسفة القانونية على مر الأعصار. بصرف النظر عن ذلك ما أريد أوصفه اليوم هو فقط إعادة التأكيد. اليوم إعادة التأكيد على المواد التي نتعلمها دائما سواء كان في المعهد أو في جامعة الحكومية الإسلامية. وأسف يا أستاذنا الفاضل لو كان هناك شيء خاطئ من توضيحي لأنني أنا أتعلم هذا. أعزائي أعز المتحدثين والمستمعين الكرام، استنادا إلى بيان التي كثيرا ما نوجهها بين تطور الاقتصاد الإسلامية سواء في المؤسسة المالية الإسلامية أو في القطاعات الأخرى، قد زاد بشكل كبير. هذه الزيادة ترجع إلى العديد من العوامل. على سبيل المثال، عميل أن الاقتصاد الإسلامي هو كما عرفنا عنده النظام الاقتصادي يعارض الربا، وبالإضافة إلى ذلك من ناحية نظرية أيضا يهدف الاقتصاد الإسلامي إلى تحقيق التوازن بين العدالة الاجتماعية أو social justice، ومن نظرية التوحيد، ومن ناحية التوحيد نظرا يعني كفل لنا الله سبحانه وتعالى أن الحياة المباركة يجب أن تتم في الاقتصاد الإسلامي. ويمكننا أن نرى تطور البنوك الإسلامية في إندونيسيا، عدد الخدمة البنوك الإندونيسية في إندونيسيا أخذا في الازدياد. موقف البنوك الإسلامية في إندونيسيا محسوبا للغاية، ليس فقط في إندونيسيا ولكن أيضا في جميع أنحاء العالم. ومع ذلك مع تطور العصر أصبحت الاحتياجات البشرية بلا حدود واحتياجات الإنسان بلا حدود، بينما توقف تطوير الشريعة الإسلامية منذ فترة طويلة في الماضي. كيف يجب الإسلام على كل التحديات الموجودة؟ وفي الوقت الحاضر كل شيء معقود للغاية. تطور العصر السريع جدا، لم ننتهي من الثورة الصناعية 4.0 حتى الآن كانت هناك ثورة صناعية 5.0. ما هو موقف الفقه؟ أعتقد أن الفقه يجب أن يجيب على جميع التحديات، لأن الشريعة الإسلامية مرونة للغاية، وهو يختلف عن التوحيد. كما نعلم أن التوحيد وهو علم القطع، وأما الفقه هو مختلف. والدراسة عميقة جدا يعني. ثم هنا المناقشة. في الأساس الجوهر الاقتصادي الإسلامي هو تطبيق المقاصد الشريعة، حيث في أن المقاصد الأساسية كما نعلم وعنده الخمسة الفرق وفقا للشريعة الإسلامية، وهو الحفاظ على المال، والحفاظ على الدين، والحفاظ على النسل، والحفاظ على ويتطورون فهما للمبادئ من فهم القواعد الفقهية. أيها السادة المستمعون والمتحدثون الكرام، إذا تم تنفيذ هذه القواعد الفقهية وتحليلها، فإن الشريعة الإسلامية سوف تتغير بالشكل الصحيح وفقا لاحتياجات الاقتصاد الإسلامي. في بلادنا مثلا أصدر المجالس العلماء الإندونيسية أو MUI الفتوى حول مشاكل الاقتصاد الإسلامية، خاصة في المجال البنوك الإسلامية باستخدام المبادئ الأساسية للفقهية. على سبيل المثال، كان هناك القاعدة الأمور بمقاصدها، واليقين لا يزال بالشك، المشقة تجلب التيسير، الضرار يزال عن عناية المحكمات وغيره. ثم تنقسم إلى هذه القاعدة إلى قاعدة رئيسية الآخر، وهو الأصل في المعاملة الإباحة، العبرة المقاصد والمسميات لا بالظواهر والتسميات، تحريم الأكل الأموال الناس بالباطل لا ضرار ولا ضرار، التخفيف والتيسير لا التشديد والتعسير، رعاية الضرورة والحاجة، ومراعاة العادة والأعراف ما لا يخالف. أيها المستمعون الكرام، ثم كيف يصدر المجالس العلماء الإندونيسية خصوصا في هيئة الشريعة الحكومية الفتوى، تستخدم 4 الطرق أو 4 المناهج، وهي طريقة التيسير والتيسير المنهج. ما هو التيسير المنهج؟ تيسير المنهج يقصد بها منع تصديق الفتوى دون اتباع الضوابط. ليس من النادر أن يتم الرد على مشكلة بالفتوى المخففة ولكن يتم فقط مراعاة جانب المنفعة ولا يلتفت إلى جانب الملائمة المنهجية. ولا ينبغي القيام بذلك لأن من المحتمل أن يغرق في البحث عن أشياء خفيفة. مثلا هناك تتبع الرخصة الذي محظورة في الشريعة الإسلامية. ومن أمثال كيف المثال من التيسير والمناهج، التيسير المنهج. من أمثال التيسير المنهج على تطبيق هذه الطريقة في الأدوات البنوك الإسلامية فتوى بشأن العقود الوديعة. الوديعة يعني تستخدم في أنشطة اكتناز الأموال في شكل الحساب التوفير وحسابات الجارية. عقد الوديعة هو الشكل الرسمي أي الفوز والمباني، بينما الجوهري هو عقد القرض. لأن العقد الذي يوجد فيه إذن من المال لاستخدام البضائع الموضوعة من قبل المستسلم الوديعة. ثم الثاني التفريق الحلال والحرام. خالط من الحلال والحرام، فينتصر الحرام على القاعدة إذا اختلط بين الحلال والحرام فالخالط الحرام. وإذا أمكن تفريق بين الشرع والمحروم على سبيل المثال في حالة الخلط بين الأصول والمشروعة وغير المشروعة، فإن هذه القاعدة إذا اجتمع الحلال والحرام غلب الحرام. رأى من مجالس العلماء المنشأة خاصة بهيئة الشريعة الحكومية أن هذا القاعدة لا تصلح، وأكثر ملائمة هو استخدام القانون فصل المحظوظين عن محظور، يعني تفريق بين الحلال والحرام. والثالث إعادة النظر. ما هو إعادة النظر؟ إعادة النظر هو إحدى الطرق أو إحدى المناهج القيام بذلك في رأي المعتمد من خلال النظر في فتوى التي معتبرة الضعيفة، يعني بين المرجوح والمحجور، يعني مرجوح وليس المحجور. فإن وجود العالة القانون أو رأي الجديد أكثر الفائدة. ثم يتم استخدام الرأي كالدليل المعتمد في إقامة القانون. أحد التطبيقات التي يتم تطبيقها من خلال إرادة النظر هو على سبيل المثال معاملة الكفالة، يعني عقد الكفالة بالأجر، يعني هناك في عقد الكفالة بالأجر، وبالاعتماد على آراء عدد القليل من العلماء الذي يختلفون عن عدد العلماء الذي يمنعون ذلك. ثم الطريقة الأخرى أو منهاج الأخرى هو تحقيق المناط. تحقيق المناط هو التحليل لمعرفة الوجود الأسباب القانونية الأخرى في حالة الواحدة، وبالإضافة إلى هيئة الشريعة الحكومية العينة المعروفة، وإما بالنصوص أو بالإجماع أو بالاستنباط. وحين أردنا تحقيق المناط هو فتوى بشأن المرابحة الذهب. هذا مثلا إن الوظيفة الذهب في التاريخ الإسلامي وقواسيط للتبادل المال. ثم هنا كيف التطبيق قواعد الفقه في فتوى المجالس الشرعية الوطني. دعونا نرى وحدها تلو الأخرى. قاعدة الأولى مثلا هو الأصل في المعاملة الإباحة إلا أن يدل الدليل على تحريمها. مثلا في البنوك الإسلامية وجواز السوق الثانوية، يعني pasar sekunder. فيستند هذا إلى حقيقة أن المعاملة في بورصة هي جزء من فقه المعاملة بحيث أن القانون يسمح الأصل ما لم تكن هناك أشياء المحظورة. وقاعدة الثانية هي المشقة تجلب التيسير وتطبيقها في المؤسسة المالية الإسلامية هو تعليق والراحة، يعني المقدمة على سبيل المثال على مدفوعة الأخرى. ثم تطبيق من تطبيق القواعد في بنوك الإسلامية الثالث من القاعدة الثابت بالعرف الثابت بالشرع، مثال هي الحجة المنزلة الضرورة. هذه القاعدة مهمة جدا للتطبيق لأنها في هذه القاعدة شرط لصحة البيع والشراء في كل الأعمال يعني، والإعفاء الممنوع.
يا أستاذ رمضان.
ثم القاعدة الأخرى بإجراء المعاملة الشراء أو البيع مباشرة من العملاء الآخرين، ولكن من خلال سمسرة الأوراق المالية. يحدث هذا أيضا في تنفيذ المعاملة الأوراق المالية، حيث يقوم وسطاء أوراق المالية بتنفيذ الأوامر معاملة الأوراق المالية من العملاء. وهكذا فإن مثل هذه المعاملة تعتبر المألوفة.
طيب أستاذ رمضان.
نعم.
عفوا karena waktu kada qad intaha utikum al-fursa daqiqataini.
تحديات المشاكل الاقتصاد الإسلامية لذلك يجب تنفيذ الفقه المعاملة بدقة مع تطبيق الشامل، فإن جوهر الدين الإسلامي سوف يستمر في جميع أوقات. يعني fikih muamalah itu memiliki fleksibilitas yang sangat tinggi. Oleh karena itu dengan adanya fleksibilitas ekonomi fikih Islam atau fikih muamalah ini, maka ekonomi Islam itu akan berkembang terus dengan zaman, sesuai dengan zaman. Akan tetapi ruhul Islam itu tidak ditinggalkan, intisari dari Islam itu tidak ditinggalkan. Nah, ini yang berbeda antara fikih muamalah dengan fikih ibadah. Jadi hadal istinbat وهنا أشعري ممكن هذا أشعري من العلماء ما العلم فاسلك حيث ما سلك العلم وعنه فكاشف كل من عنده وأي الرجاء في امرئ شبا رأسه وأفنى سنية وهو مستعجم فديم. Mudah-mudahan ini syairnya untuk sebagai penyemangat kita dalam belajar. Mungkin hada ya Ustaz, atau afwan, bila taufiq hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Naam, syukran ya Ustaz Ramadan. Ayyuhal mustami'un wal hadirun, hal hunaka as-su'al amma yata'allaqu bi ilqa'i al-maqalat min Ustadina al-Ustad Ramadan min Aceh. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for answer question session. Any question from you all, please?
The question, Mr. Uncu, there is my friend. He sent salam to you. He is your student. His name Muhammad Sharif Hidayat.
Muhammad Sharif Hidayat.
Yeah, he is from Kalimantan. Now he's lecture in Wali Songo.
Oh, Wali Songo, right?
Yeah.
I know. Yes.
Sharif, yeah.
Sharif. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time answer question session, and your question can be delivered in Arabic or in English. هكذا أستاذ الأسئلة يستطيع أن يلقي باللغة العربية والإنجليزية؟
طيب ما في مشكلة يا أستاذ.
نعم.
نتفضل علي.
نعم. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
أطلب العفو أستاذ لأن أنا لم أكن أصيحة يعني هكذا صوتي يعني.
طيب يا أستاذ رمضان عندنا فرصة قليلة ثم بعدكم هناك نعم
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله
نعم شكرا كثير. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I say that before Ustadz Ramadan delivered his presentation, we have one more speaker, Madam Farhana from Brunei Darussalam. Hello, Madam Farhana. Are you with us now? Farhana, Madam Farhana, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. So this is the topic of me today. I would like to talk about. So first of all, many thanks to all the organizers who organized this today's fruitful and I think amazing conference. I have been, I have heard few educators who delivered their speech. Sorry for the internet problem. So now I think it's okay.
Okay,
so
doesn't matter,
let's
madam.
get started. Yeah. So my topic is all about the education system, evolution of education during the time of COVID. So the first of all, I would like to talk about that how era shifted us towards the use of Zoom. As you can see now, also we are having this conversation and conference, through Zoom with other educators from all around the world. So this is, another good thing in COVID, in this new system, that we can preach or we can talk about our topics and deliver speech through online. So in the beginning, tech shift has been working slowly. As you can understand, that many organizations and students, they had no idea how to deal with the technological devices and all that. So slowly now it gradually now it's now doing good. They are doing good. It has got the speed and online teaching before 5 months now, I would say before. Now it's almost 2 years. So after this 2 years and pre and post pandemic, the scenario of education system is totally changed. Accepting blended system of education, for some educational institutions, online teaching is not a problem, while others facing struggle to cope up with this new trend. As I said, some countries, some universities and organizations, they had no problem, but some they did face the problem. The pandemic revealed the arrival of COVID-19 is unprecedented and taught us how we are underprepared to deal with rising crisis in teaching and learning for teachers and students, and we got new chance as well as new ultimatum. So even in the horrible situation, our study and education system didn't stop. So this could be the blessing in disguise. So it enforced us to pick up the alternatives quickly. Most of the institutions and individuals accepted online learning and teaching. The mental attitude changed in times of the pandemic. Many of us became very kind and compassionate. Like teachers, they become very kind. Also the parents and students, they learned how to be patient, and many things they learned to be kind and all that thing. Even the bossy teachers are nice and considerate towards their students. Like now, everyone is having this conference from their own comfortable zone at home, or whatever they want. They can sit and open laptop or mobile phone and doing their, preaching their educational stuffs. So technology become more advanced than ever before. Technology is not everything, because in online learning, tech-able teacher is the main figure to run this online teaching learning system. So we need tech-able teacher more than the technology, that who can actually handle this system. So we need that type of teacher more. So dares and challenges are, after using the screen of electronic device, it affects our health to some extent. Eye problems can increase according to the reports from all around the world. Avoidance to online teaching and learning may increase. Nothing compares to physical learning. As we know, online is not real learning like physical learning. So real learning is far more better than online learning in this thing. And tech ability, lack of required resources for everyone to embrace technology. The question has raised that, is online teaching helping the universal need of acquiring knowledge? So this is the question. So Bloom's technology, that we use some apps to run our educational system and all other things. So this is the digital taxonomy. So going back to the theories, epistemic obligations of Richard Friedman, he said that one duty is to know the truth, the other is to know the error. And another theory by Schulman's pedagogical content knowledge, Mishra and Kohler added technology. Further, I add moral and empathic, how best we accept. Medpack means 3 gifts of teaching by Gard Biesta, that being given what did you not ask for, double truth giving, intellectual socialization, being given yourself, like pedagogical subjectification. So instructional leadership is curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, leading instruction, instructors, learning, and learners. So moving forward, this online teaching and learning trend will most probably continue, if not fully, then maybe partially. It will remain and will be cultivated and improved. Online teaching and a new normal, blended teaching approach can be known as a new normal. It is fully our responsibility to make this trend meaningful, managing screen time, tech ability resources, socio-tech involvement, productive interaction between people. The core of the university's existence is teaching, supporting instructors. Student means supporting one another. So we are all blameworthy, responsible in online teaching and learning. So that's all from my part. I hope you all liked what I have said. Or yeah, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. From our Madam Farhana Haq from Brunei Darussalam. Please.
Yeah, right now I am in Malaysia.
Oh.
Yeah, I have done my PhD in Brunei, from Brunei. Right now I am in Malaysia. Yeah.
So originally you are from Malaysia, right?
No, originally I am from Bangladesh, but I am near. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Brunei I was there, but now in Malaysia. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry because in my list.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen, and again to Madam Farhana. Actually, I want to know more about the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic to educational sector. But I am moderator, just going to give the time to participant.
Yes.
Madam Farhana, if there's still no question from the participant, maybe you can share with us about how far the negative impact
experience.
Yes.
Okay.
You have
through.
You have 3 countries.
Three
remaining.
countries,
3 countries remaining:
yes.
Malaysia, Brunei Darussalam, and also
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, right? Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, to be honest, I have no news or something from my country, home country, because I am away from my country more than 4 years. So I can share my experience in Brunei because that learning process, online thing, they pop up very quickly, and the students, teachers, they never missed any class or anything. Through online, they kept doing. Me also, because that time I was doing my PhD. But the negative thing, I would say that I didn't able to do my field research, I mean field work, because my research was about women empowerment, Brunei and Bangladeshi women comparative study.
Okay.
So I needed to go to the families separately. I needed to take the interviews, so I didn't able to do. So online I did survey. So that thing I felt I missed the physical contact
madam.
or something. Yeah.
In the line to we have our Professor Dr. Suraya. A big salutation from me, Indonesia, Professor Doctor. Have you any sharing from your country about the big impact of
Bangladesh, ma'am? You Bangla bolte pari? আমি বাংলা বলতে পারি কিন্তু একটু একটু বলতে পারি, বেশি ভালো বলতে পারি না।
You can. I can see you can understand and can speak. Bolte pari means I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
বলতে পারি, একটু একটু বলতে পারি, বেশি বলতে পারি না, কিন্তু সম্পূর্ণ কথা বুঝতে পারি।
Okay. কেমন আছেন? Do you understand that? Bhalo. That means how are you? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Very well explained, you ma'am. During pandemic, there is a very bad situation. First pandemic, second pandemic, and the third wave of the pandemic. Our very nearest and dearest, our neighbors, our family members, most of we have lost, and their rest of family is very in trouble and very bad financial condition of their due to financial surveys and rural areas. They haven't they haven't sufficient money and equipment and low network problem. This is all facing war, and also in blending process, their education is suffered. First, we have our life. It is important to save our life. Inshallah, we will make progress, but in blended mode, the situation is so poor. So they are getting nothing. And we teachers are also, we faculties are also confused. We are taking classes offline, but their exam will be conducted situation in India. Even primary classes in school, primary students in school are conducting their exam offline, but all colleges and higher education, they are conducting exam online. But we are taking classes in both in third wave, both blended method, and now still all classes are conducting offline. Just see what will be next examination pattern.
Yeah, true.
I agreed with you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. And I also saw and also heard from Bangladesh as well that education system, most of the system is now online, but now it's offline, physical thing. And since long, Brunei, they are now normal, very normal. They are doing everything offline. Yeah. In Malaysia, I am seeing, I am in Malaysia not more than 6 months now, almost 4 months I am here. So I'm very new here in this country. So I saw the same thing, like Brunei, they are having everything now normally. Yeah.
Now it's not not in virtual teaching anymore, right?
Their companies and increase their institution or not increasing their
find within the locals the scope of work now because of the COVID, everything now closed in Brunei. Also in other countries, scholarship they are deductive, decreasing the scholarship amount. Yeah.
Yes, we are also due to last pandemic 2 session, pandemic 1 and 2 and last third wave, we had didn't got our pay scale revised, and now still pay revise is done, but with few percent deduct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
True.
Professor Suraya and also Madam Farhana. The big thing that we can conclude from our conversation today that COVID-19 pandemic push us to have new model of life way, not only in the education sector but in economic, in social sector also. All right?
True. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, agreed, sir, agreed.
Okay. Madam Farhana and also Dr. Suraya, Professor Dr. Suraya, we are so sorry because the time has been up, and actually we would like to have lot of time to have any discussion about the education sector. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our Google form in the chat of this Zoom meeting, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think the time is running fast and we are in the end of this program today. I am Chung as moderator for this conference today. Yes, I have informed. Thank you very much for our participants, and a special thank to Professor Dr. Suraya. Again, I say big salutation from me, Indonesia. Not yet, madam, not yet. I will say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.